Welcome to Ron Knows Stuff. Today is my special guest star, Brandon from Car Questions Answered.
It's nice being here. I appreciate you bringing me on your channel and letting me talk a little bit about something that doesn't have to do it with cars.
So we're going to talk about things that we tell our younger selves. And what's great is you have a very entrepreneurial mind, and I have a more of a corporate mindset. So we're going to take advantage of those two distinct personalities and really go. Plus, I am a little more, I don't like to use the word older, but more seasoned. Let's try that.
No, we're the same age, Ron. I mean, you can't be a day over 34 years old.
Yeah, bless your heart. And I am from the South, so I know what bless your heart means. Things that I would tell my 15 to 20-year-old self, it's kind of, well, don't get caught up in high school. That's not your best life. That's not your best years. The best is yet to come. And, I'm 5'5", and when you're that short, you don't really want to be a butthole because you can get your clock cleaned out pretty good. It did teach me, though, the gift of gab, and I was able to talk myself out of many, many situations. Yeah, I would tell myself to be kinder and gentler and not such a butt.
Yeah, I would say I was probably in a similar vein to you. I thought I was bigger than I was, as far as confidence wise or whatever. And yeah, just really being a real person is very important, especially when you're younger, because the real world, for me, it really just kind of kicked me in the butt. And this might be for later on in life, but you develop these kind of habits as you're going through school and really trying to impress people that you don't even really care about.
Yeah.
And you'll find out, I mean, going through high school, if there are any younger people that are watching this, that you're probably not going to know 95+% of the people that you go to high school with 10 years down the road. So the things that you think are so important in your life when you're at that age range turn out to be nothing later on. And really, if I could say really anything to a younger crowd, is start trying to develop some kind of world skill, whether it's looking into knowing what to do with your money later on. I talk a lot on my channel about cars and car payments, and just being able to set yourself up when you're getting into that 15 to 20-year-old range. You're going to have your first car, you're going to start driving. And I didn't want to talk about cars, but I have to. This is something that I preach a lot on my channel, is
Whatever
that
you
if
want to
you
talk
can
about.
start at that age with no car payments, if you can go out and hustle and get a little job, if you have parents that you can do things for to be able to make some money, or if you have neighbors, go cut grass, whatever you can do, scrounge up $2,000, $3,000 and be able to buy your first car. It's going to be a beater, it's going to be junk. And if you buy a car around that range and learn how to work on it, learn how to do your own maintenance, then you're going to set yourself up for a much more successful future. Just not bleeding that money every month from a car payment. If you can go out and buy one for cash and then learn how to maintain it yourself. And if you go through life without having a car payment from day one, then you're going to be 10 years, 20 years ahead of anyone else, in your age range financially, just because you don't have that weight, that burden of a car payment. Another thing that I'll add on with payments is, debt. Just stay away from it. I don't mind. You know what? I'm not even going to go that route, because I was going to say something about a credit card and building your credit, but really, for the most part, you don't need it. The only thing that
No.
you'll ever need credit for is buying a house and getting a mortgage. And there
Yeah.
are ways to build your credit other than going into significant amounts of debt with a credit card, with an auto loan, with auto loan debt.
So what I'm hearing you say is at the 15 to 20-year-old, you're setting yourself up for your adulthood. You want to start practices now that are going to affect you. It's like the foundation of a house. You want to build your foundation strong at this age. You want to make sure that you're setting good financial habits, good relationship habits, and just really prepare for adulthood. What would you tell 20 to 25-year-old Brandon?
I mean, what I would tell myself is that, you know what? I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time. You gotta get after it. I know I say that, like, I started buying and selling cars when I was 23. But and that's still young. Even me looking back at that is
Absolutely.
young to feel like I got after it. But even at my 20-year-old self, like, I would be even, I mean, leaps and bounds over where I am now if I would have gotten started 3-4 years earlier than what I did, because the actual growth when I started to actually put my head down and work hard, um, it just, it really expands upon itself so quickly. And those years are so important, but because you don't really have anything else going on. And like, me and my wife didn't get married until I was 24. So those years before that time frame, I could have had us set up so much better financially had I not been lazy, not sit on my butt while I was going to college and play video games all day when I wasn't doing these dead end jobs that I didn't want to be at anyway. Um, so I really wish that I would have done that to set me and my wife up better financially in the beginning. Um, because I didn't get after it, and because I wanted to have things that maybe I couldn't afford, that I got myself into debt trouble and used credit cards and ran them up. And whenever me and my wife did get engaged, I didn't want us to get married immediately, because I wanted to take care of my debt and I didn't want it to be hers, because when me and her got married, we were one. And
Sure.
at that point, I knew that my finances would then become hers. My financial problems would then become her problems. And I didn't want that to happen. Now, she wouldn't allow me to do that. She said, you know what, we're already at this point, we're together. So we're
Right.
going to tackle this together. And it made it so, because she had an actual real job and a good job whenever we got married. So it made it to where I could focus on taking out this debt while her good job paid for our needs and everything. So it made us stronger financially having to deal with that. I don't regret going through what we went through, because it set us up for ways to deal with money in our relationship
Absolutely.
better later. But if I had to go back and tell my 20-year-old self, hey, let's buy only things that you can afford, get after it, stop being so lazy, and grow up a little bit. Because it, as soon as me and my wife got married, it's like something clicks, like, oh, I'm responsible
Oh yeah.
for not only myself, but for my bride too. And I have to take responsibility and stop being so lazy, and just wake up. And that's the thing I would tell to my younger self is, hey, you're a man now. You gotta do man things. You gotta get after it. You gotta be responsible with money, and you got other people that are counting on you. So you gotta step up.
Do you feel, and this is the baby boomer in me talking, do you feel like video games consumed more of your time than they actually should have?
Oh, absolutely. Now, I think there can be a good thing. They help you learn technology if it can be controlled, but that's always the problem. Is
A lot of things you said were very practical about getting your finances in order, because a lot of people today don't think about tomorrow and or the day after that. They just live for the moment, live for the day. And you just can't do that. And you will find that you will enjoy your life so much more when you have disciplines in place and you've got, you can't hit a target unless you know what you're aiming for. And by doing some of the things that you were saying, they're going to narrow your focus and help you see your target and get you there.
And
So
I can tell you that me and my wife talk about this a lot. We talk about small sacrifices right now to make life better later. Yeah,
but
and go ahead.
oh well, I agree with you. You do have to make sacrifices today so you live a better tomorrow. But there are little things that you can you can take a piece of to satisfy today's urge. You know, you can walk model homes and figure out what colors you like, what colors you think are going to last 5 years from now. But yeah, I mean, you do want to sacrifice, but you still want to enjoy today, but keep tomorrow's bigger picture in frame. And that's what I hear you say, which is good advice.
And that might be something that I'm telling that my future self is going to tell me right now is maybe, okay, don't bust your butt so hard and enjoy the moments right now, and not try to make a better future for yourself as much as you're trying to, because you still need to enjoy the moments too. And I think that's something that I have a hard time with, and me and my wife talk about a lot, is that I have a problem with, okay, I want to work because I want to have time later. And you know what? I might have that time later, but I'm going to miss this time that I have right now, especially because I have a son. He's 4 years old. He's about to turn 5. And it's very important to me that I don't miss this time now. So it's hard for me to find that balance to set us up great later, but still have that time that's sacred between me, my wife, and my son right now. And that's a tough balance. And that's probably something that I'm going to, in hindsight, want to have done differently than I'm doing now. I hope not, but you always want to do something better.
Absolutely. And you know, we always have flaws. We make mistakes intentionally. So, well, we don't intentionally make them, but when we do make them, that's a great learning opportunity. And that's when you learn the most, is when you make that mistake and you have to live with it. And wow, I wish I would have. So I'll tell you something for your later life to tell you now, things that I'm 61 and I'm working until I'm 67, because that has always been my mentality. And quite honestly, my job is one of those that I can keep going. It's fine. But my wife is always stressing about money. How are we going to be able to retire in that short time frame? So what I've done is I've created an Excel spreadsheet, because she's a numbers person like I am, and I'm sure you are, and I know your wife is. No, she's not. Oh, well.
No, she is definitely the numbers person. I like numbers too, but I'm not an analytical person. That's my wife. She is the analytical person.
So have her work up the numbers for you and show you where you are. Because I'm telling you, my wife is like freaking out. We're going to retire. We're not going to have any income. And hold on a minute. We will. And once I show her the revenue stream that we're going to have, she goes, oh, and that helped her relax.
So I wish it were that easy in our case. We have a business that if we slow down, we make less money. We don't make the same amount of money. We have a YouTube channel where if I put out less videos, I'm probably going to make less money. So I wish,
ignore what I said.
We could, I wish we could factor it out that way. Yeah.
Keep pumping it out, brother. What are your health?
Yeah, I've always been really active. My problem is I like to eat.
Pickleball.
Yeah, I play a lot of pickleball. It's fun, and especially if you play with the right kind of people, you can actually run and get some good exercise with it. But
I've seen some pickleball videos because of your comments on it. I watched a couple of YouTubes on it. Some of those people are really aggressive in it.
What I've noticed is that when I am more active, when I make time for myself to actually be active, my anxiety goes down. So it's not necessarily even just a physical exercise. Like your body needs to release in this kind of way to it's good mentally too, because you can feel like, well, okay, maybe you're not being productive in business in a certain aspect, but if you're being productive on health, our bodies we're built to work. I mean, we were created to be workers, and whether we're not really working physically in our jobs, your body wants to be active. It needs to be active. And when you're doing that, then this you can have massive stress relief just from being active. So it's not only physical, it's mental too.
Yeah, and it'll help you because your 20s into your 30s is your go period, and by having those releases, You got to do something. I got her the night. I don't know if you've seen it, where she's throwing axes at the axe board we have out back. But she's,
That's terrifying. My wife gets mad at me. I don't want her anywhere near. I don't want her to know how to throw knives.
let me tell you, buddy, she is deadly with those. My God, she put three in a score, circle like that, just three, and asked me if I had any questions. I said, no, ma'am.
I would say too, there was something
Yeah,
else that I missed in the younger
sure.
ages. Go ahead and start investing. You have
Oh,
so
wow.
much potential growth from when you hit 18 and get like a real job. Even if you just put away like $100 a month and just you can throw it in index funds, you can throw it in growth stock, mutual funds,
Yep.
anything that's going to follow the general market.
Hmm.
Those years are so valuable. That's something that I didn't do, and
Yeah.
because the public education system, they don't teach investing. They don't teach you how to be good with money. They don't teach you how to stay out of debt or run away from credit cards. That's something
Yeah.
that's not taught in the school system, and it's very important that you start as young as you can. If you get into a career where you have a 401k, make sure you're maxing it out, getting the biggest type of return that you can on your money that you're making now, and just pretend like that money that you're putting away in these investments, just take it off of what you think you're actually making,
Yeah.
when you're budgeting and everything, because that's so important to your future, is that you're putting that money away now, because I mean, it's going to double every 7 years, and it's just going to keep compounding on itself. And that's the way to reach early retirement, if that's
Yeah.
something that you want to do, or being wealthy, if that's something what you do. You have to start investing now. I don't care what age you are. If you're not investing, you need to start investing now.
And one of the things that I did was, or we did, was we opened up a separate uh, savings account at a different bank. And we don't even look at that. You know, we look at the statement, but we don't have electronic access to it because we don't want to touch it. We don't really want to know it's there.
Um, Make sure when I'm hiring someone, that I'm just not hiring out of desperation, and I'm
Oh,
actually getting people into my business that, um, oh, how do I say this nicely? Um, I'm just going to get people that are going to fit onto my team and fit
yeah,
with working and having a common goal, and just pleasant people. I mean, me and my wife, we both have big hearts, and we gave too many um too many chances to a lot of
yeah,
different people, and
sure.
end up every time we gave, with the exception of Alex, we gave Alex a second chance, and we're so happy we did. But every other case that we actually gave someone a second, a third, a fourth chance,
Yeah,
turns out they always would take advantage of us,
yeah,
time after time after time. And there was a relief whenever that separation happened from our team, even to the point where we would have other team members come up and say, you know what, I know that was hard, but thank you for doing it, because they did not fit, and they were making our lives miserable.
so what
So
I hear you saying is hire somebody that fits the personality of the business. You can train them to do the job, but you can't train the personality. You can't train their ability to act within the business and get along with everybody.
yeah, and I guess I'm taking it more as a business take for that, because that's what we were so focused on from those time frames. But if you want to take that into your personal life, I guess what I could say is, like, we knew that they weren't a good fit when they were there.
Yeah,
I would say, when you know something to be a fact, if you know something to be true in your life, act on it. If you
yeah,
have debt and you want to get rid of it.
rip
I
it.
mean, just yeah, stop going out to eat, stop
Yeah,
spending money on other things. If
yeah.
you want to get rid of it, get rid of it.
Don't prolong the
And
agony. Just yank it.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop kicking the can down the road. If you want to do
Yep.
something, if you want to start a business, if you want to start a side hustle, if
Hmm.
you want to, I mean, if you got to fix something in your relationship, me and my wife have been through. I mean, we've been married almost 11 years now. We've been through a
Right.
lot in our marriage. And I mean, if you've got to work on things in your marriage, if you want to be a better father, if you want to be a better mother, if you want to be a better member of your community,
Yeah.
do something right now. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that we could talk all day about, but
Yeah.
that analogy is perfect.
Yeah.
Stop pulling the Band-Aid off slowly. Just get done.
Yank it. Get just take care of the pain today. Don't linger on. Yeah. And you talked a little bit about finding employees that fit, and from a corporate perspective, that's I would do cattle calls. We'd hire 300 and some odd people for a brand new store, and I would try and find folks that would fit the personality and that I was trying to establish in that market, and I would make sure that they could get along with the other people I hired. And it's so important that they understand that if you're applying for a job at this age, you want to make yourself likable. And I would tell that to my younger self. Don't go in an interview as arrogant as I would go. Be humble, be gracious, and show them that you are part of the team and are willing to be part of the team, and everybody's going to love you. That's a big takeaway for me. So I guess it's probably time that I know how valuable your time is. My time on earth is dwindling down. No, I shouldn't say that. But I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So let's close it out, and just
all right. So I'll say something real quick. All right.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to Ron's channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you put down in the comments, what does Ron need to do to get you to subscribe? He'll do it. So just put down in the comments, and he'll do anything you want him to do to get you to hit that subscribe button. And make sure you like this video.
Please.